Are you ready?
I'm ready. You're going first.
I'm
right?
going first.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Power! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I'm Thom Lang.
And I'm Bill Evenson, and we're talking about minute 24 of All New Thrills, The Ghost of Frankenstein from Universal Pictures International in 1942 and whatever. Carl Laemmle presents.
It's another 4 years before they became Universal International.
Carl Laemmle presents
the
Universal International's Jaws. So in which Cloestine,
yes,
you join us as Cloestine continues her interrogation.
Already in progress.
Yes, already in progress. She has asked the monster, what did she say?
What's your name?
Oh, so here she says, where do you live? Mm-hmm. In the script, she climbs up on the monster's knee, catching the chain between his ankles and wrists to steady herself, which is adorable.
That's cute.
And then it says, the monster is nearly hysterical with joy. So
and Chady pulls that off completely.
Chady, if there's anything he knows how to do, it's how to be hysterical. He can play hysterical like nobody's business. Actually, he can. He gets hysterical in the next film.
Talbot
often gets hysterical, which is a highlight. I think we're going to love it. But hard to say that they misfired by toning it down here. I except as much as it's toned down so much. You know, maybe there could be more of a reaction.
I don't know.
Or really, it should just be Karloff.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, I don't know if the script was prepared knowing it wouldn't be Karloff, knowing it would be Chaney.
And if they knew it was Chaney, they'd go, who's that?
Who's
and
that?
Go, Alan, he was in Mice and Men, or was he?
Yeah.
That's it, right? By then?
Well, he had done Man-Made Monster. Well, the Wolfman, this was prepared as the Wolfman was in production.
They wouldn't have seen it, right.
So I don't think it was a given that when the script was written, Chaney was already cast.
But like, if you go to a script writer, who wrote this script? Who wrote this piece of shit?
Eric Taylor.
If you go to Eric Taylor in 1941, I think didn't we decide it was right around Pearl Harbor when they started making this?
Yep.
And say, we didn't get Karloff, so just, note that it's Lon Chaney Jr. He's going to go, what?
What? Who?
Or I guess he might know him from Mice and Men.
Possibly.
Was he Lon Chaney Jr. in that, or was he Lon Chaney?
No, he was Junior up until the Wolfman.
Okay, right.
And I think the Wolfman is the first time they dropped the Junior.
Well, it'll be great because we'll correct you by going back to your own episode earlier, like in episode, what would it be, 3 of this podcast?
Something like that.
You probably mentioned it.
Yes. Ludwig then pushes through the crowd at the door, shoves William Smith aside.
Kind of.
Like he's kindling. No.
It seems like there's two things that happen at once. Eric snatches Cloestine away because everyone else seems paralyzed. Like he picks her up.
Well, she steps up to the next step to get closer to him.
Yeah, and puts her hand maybe on his knee.
She puts her hand on his hand.
On his hand, okay. Yeah, that's right.
And
then Frankenstein comes in. So there's two things happening at once. So when he pulls her away, he snatches her up, turns around, and then it seems like he sees Frankenstein.
He sees Frankenstein coming in.
So then it seems like everybody sees Frankenstein, including Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster seems to then turn to the door too, like, oh, look who's here.
Oh,
but then when Hussmann takes, and I apologize if some of this is stepping on what's going to happen next or whatever, but when Hussmann then takes, or somebody takes the girl and runs the other direction, then Chaney's eyes follow her. So it's almost like if he was supposed to be looking at her, he's doing a terrible job because he can't see what he's doing because his eyelids are too big.
Taped shut.
Yeah, his eyes
we're
are
getting
getting
a little out of order.
Well, I'm just but I just wanted to throw that out. So maybe that's happening while we're.
Cloestine asks, "Where do you live?" Ludwig pushes through the crowd, but he doesn't fully enter yet. He stands at the doorway.
In the doorway, right.
Cloestine steps up closer to Junior and holds his hand and says, "Won't you tell us?"
Yeah.
Beautifully.
That's nice.
Beautifully delivered.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. As much as
for all the people that thought we were picking on that little kid last year, or last season, we were. were.
Yeah.
This girl's great.
She's fantastic.
She's did we decide? Is she 6? I can't remember.
She was like 4.
Okay.
4 and a half. She's about the same age as Donnie.
As Donnie, yeah.
Yeah. Her and Marilyn Harris, yeah, they're both great.
That's true.
Yep. That is after
you got no little kids in Bride?
Yeah, because Marilyn Harris is in it again, but none of them feature as a character.
Barely in it.
After she asks, "Won't you tell us?" that's when Eric quickly whisks her away and hands her to Hussman.
Okay.
There's a little then the people in the courtroom start to murmur, and there's a little fuss dusted up at that point. As Ludwig, he watches him passively.
It actually plays out okay now that I think about it, because as critical as I am of the direction, he's a functional director, and he no doubt put some thought into the blocking, and make and for lack of a better word, choreography that leads to Bellamy picking up Cloestine, spinning around and delivering Cloestine, and then noticing Frankenstein in the doorway, which is indicated by the camera being in the doorway during that part.
Dr. Frankenstein is in the house. Let's let him examine
he's
the
in the
prisoner
hizzy.
now.
Yep, he's in the hizzy.
Let him examine the prisoner now.
All this can serve no purpose, Your Honor. Dr. Frankenstein is here. Okay, but up until Cloestine walked into your thing, you were driving
You were just,
So this thing that you say can serve no purpose, I think the more I go through this, because I've been trying to figure this out minute by minute for a week. I'm trying to figure this out, and the more I get to it, I think it's not all that complicated, but it seems kind of complicated because last week the magistrate said the prosecutor may proceed, so then Eric started questioning him because he just had nothing else to do until Frankenstein gets here. I'll kill some time and insult some people.
Yeah.
Insult a murderer, a murderous beast.
It is confusing, his motivation, and ultimately he's kind of an annoying character in that regard.
You know, to be honest, and I don't know, I'm kind of surprised, maybe I wrote it down for next week, but his motivation goes a step further too, which he calls him insane. I should have mentioned this last week.
Well, mad beast.
And he calls him a mad beast. Isn't that usually the defense argument?
Not the prosecution.
But I mean, I guess that the notion of an insanity defense is a more modern one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had it in the 40s.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It probably goes back farther than you think.
So he's a prosecutor. Maybe he just doesn't want this business in his town. He seems to be like, just, render him. Is that the word he used? I can't remember.
Yeah.
To the city. Just send him to the city.
Remand, isn't that what you
Remand, there you go. Remand him to the city.
Yep. So this is then when Ludwig crosses through the courtroom.
Yeah, he's put on a few extra coats.
Yeah.
And he's got an umbrella for some reason.
Well padded. It's a nice, bright, sunny day out.
He's added 2 or 3 coats and an umbrella.
Yeah. You don't want to take too many chances.
So you've been to...
Ludwig is a cautious cat.
I mean, this is filmed in California at Universal Studios.
Yes.
It's the Universal Studios backlot. It rains there 2 days a year.
Yep.
Maybe he's worried about it.
It could be.
Could be chilly out.
Then he and Junior stare each other down like they're in a Sergio Leone movie.
That's nice. Yeah. The music is very dramatic too.
Yeah.
In fact, I was tempted to say that it was misplaced because the music gets very dramatic and as Ludwig is walking up. Mm-hmm. But then when we cut to the monster, it sort of resolves that.
I think
resolve is absolutely totally the wrong word because it doesn't do a resolve. It maintains.
It justifies
is a better word. Yeah.
And then the monster actually does show some expression in his face.
This is
acknowledgement that okay.
Yep. Yeah. He does his level best to try to do but don't you know me?
Yep.
Without giving any expression whatsoever.
Stewart impression. This shot, the close up.
It's not very good.
No, but at least he's doing something.
Yeah.
But this shot, I think, because it is so brightly lit and so close on him, the edges of the forehead piece are painfully visible.
Everything. The scar on his chin, the
bolt,
the things holding the bolts on.
Yeah, but you could say that, I mean, for Karloff, those are pretty obvious too.
Okay, doesn't make it great here.
My guess they were heavy, so it took a lot to hold them in place.
Yeah, so instead of finding something light and painting it silver.
They were machined
they were actual bolts.
Like I've used on those heads over there.
What you got to do is take just a bar and drill it through a guy's neck.
Drive it through
in one. If you do it quickly enough and the guy holds his breath,
he should be all right.
He may be all right. Almost certainly he'll die. But it's possible he might be okay.
I think this is the most egregious example of that in this
film. The way it looks?
Yeah, in this film. Maybe only second to that one weird shot in Sun where Karloff is lying on that slab and we can see like the wrinkle.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
It looks like a bottle cap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad too. It's like something wrinkled up.
Yeah, it's the rubber piece loose, pinched together. And it will only get worse in the next film.
Okay, we'll look forward to that.
Yep.
He seems to recognize you, Dr. Frankenstein.
And
he is the spitting image of his father.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on here.
Yep.
We'll see later anyway.
Junior,
he looks exactly like his father.
He does. Junior nods like, yep, I know this guy.
Oh, he does? Oh, Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Junior Frankenstein for some reason.
No, I've been calling the monster Junior.
Okay. Oh, somebody started calling the monster Junior.
Yeah.
So how long are we going to keep that going? All the way through
for this film.
All the way through Evan Costello when they start calling him Junior? I love it.
Somebody mentioned it in one of our comments that I thought it was a good idea because...
Okay, you should just call him Junior.
Yeah, nods almost starts to grin. Here again, Karloff would have done it 1,000 times better.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
He tries to do that kind of leery grin or that wicked, and he just can't.
Yeah.
But this prompts...
When you say leery grin, you mean like a sort of menacing thing?
Yeah.
Because actually, funnily enough, that's the one thing Lugosi is kind of able to pull off in the next film.
In one moment.
For one moment, you see it in clips and stuff.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I never saw this man. But there's a pause before man.
I never saw this before in my life. I know nothing about him.
Yep.
I never saw this asshole before in my life. I always think of Army of Darkness, right?
Yeah.
I never even saw these assholes before. In the script, he says, I never saw this ... man ... before in my life. I want nothing to do with it, which I think is a good change. Yeah. I think that's a little too far.
That's a little too harsh.
A little too much. And it's getting the same message across without him being so blatant about it.
Well, but it also, by saying I don't want anything to do with it...
Or I know nothing. Yeah, I want nothing to do with it as opposed to I know nothing
a little
about
suspicion, like, okay, this is your line of work.
Yeah, exactly.
What about this guy is your problem?
Right.
So it casts a little suspicion.
I like that. That's a good point. Absolutely. And now what you've got, though, what you do have for sure is that roller coaster we're talking about that Ludwig is going through where he found out about the monster and doesn't want anything to do with it. He's got friends and Bomer and Elsa. And then he goes down the roller coaster to the point where he's pulling those books out and blowing the dust off them. Yep. Well, now here he is back. Or maybe, I don't know which side of the roller coaster is which, but now he's back to it would be too far to say I want nothing to do with it, but it's the same idea.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yep, and we'll see where he ends up.
Yeah.
It's fucking Frankenstein. We know where the fucking stupid scientists end up.
Yeah, well, he says I never saw this man before in my life. Junior's face drops.
Yeah.
The little grin that he was trying to do goes away.
Yeah.
Just kind of gets that baby face.
Maybe, here's what I wrote. Maybe I just don't like Lon Chaney Jr. His stupid face makes him come across like a stubborn little kid who's been told he has to go to bed.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like to me. I'm sad now.
You don't like him in this role or in general?
In this role.
Okay. I don't particularly care for him in this role either. I think he's terribly miscast.
It'll be interesting to see how I feel about him next season because I don't watch Lon Chaney Jr. movies every day.
Right.
So we'll see. Maybe I just don't like him.
We'll find out.
I think I'll like him just fine next season.
I know nothing about him. And that's it. The gloves are off. Mm-hmm. That lights him up like a torch.
Yep, so to
absolutely.
Speak.
And
but he does that fucking super frowny face. Yeah, he does the
the downturn
like you would do on a happy face where you turn the parentheses upside down. Yeah,
or like Emmett Kelly, the sad clown kind of a thing.
Okay, I was thinking of who's the guy from Treasure of the Sierra? Is it? Who directed Treasure of the Sierra Madre?
John Huston.
Who's his dad?
Walter.
Yeah, doesn't he do like kind of a old perfect kind of thing with his mouth turns upside down?
He won an Oscar for that, so
he's great.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to trash
that movie. Actually, I cherish dearly because the night my son was born, it was on TV, and I sat and held him
and watched that.
Watch that.
You could do much worse. That's a great movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
I hope. Did you think you seem to be reacting as if you didn't think I was trashing it? Did
no,
you?
No.
Oh, okay. Especially not his performance. No.
Okay.
Just that to me has always been like an old prospect, or it's one of two things. When your mouth is shaped like that, you're either the old prospector who doesn't have all his teeth anymore,
like Walter Brennan
or Walter Brennan's a good one. Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
That's probably, yeah.
Or Beaker, where it's just.
Yeah.
So we're not there. So we're on the other.
If Cheney did that, boy,
that would
elevate this movie 1,000-fold.
Nothing quite like a little Beaker to.
Cheney does in 20 minutes what Karloff would have done 2 minutes after being put in those chains. He breaks out of them.
Yes, that's right. Well, yes, I can't argue with that. But it's the same. It's the same scene. He does a lot. He allows himself to be chained, presumably because there's cops beating the shit out of him. And right now, there are no cops actively beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So, fuck these chains.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
Oh, boy. I just got the pottiest of potty mouths, man. You can't stop.
Yep. And the wide shot at the end of the minute, once again, does not look remotely like it's Cheney.
Okay.
Is the
That's here, huh? I missed
the wide
it again.
shot. I kind of pointed it out as we watched it that it looks more like Glenn Strange.
Oh, you did say that. So that's not him.
I am pretty sure that's a stuntman in that shot because it does not look like Cheney at all.
I mean, I agree. I don't think it looks the same. I don't think it doesn't look like Cheney at all, though. I guess I thought it probably was still Cheney.
The face is thinner, I think.
It doesn't look the same. No.
Yeah, no, it's somebody else, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's write in, tell us we're full of shit.
Yep.
Just, we should have like a button. You are full of shit button. And where would we put that? I don't know.
That'd be a level.
Every place sucks.
That'd be a level on Patreon that, $10 a month you could tell us we're full of shit.
Did you say Patreon?
I did.
The sound of Night Train to Mundo Fine can only mean one thing.
Never, ever happening. Any more questions, wise ass?
It's time for Got Any Questions? Got any pre-questions, wise asses?
There again, I'm not changing the soundbite or the graphic to accommodate that.
By Patreon. If you want to support us, one of the best, easiest ways to do that is to go to YouTube and report us for
violating their...
Yeah.
Don't even say the word. Jesus Christ. We can swear all we want, but we can't talk about...
No, or, I don't know. Who cares? Go to Patreon and sign up.
Yep.
We love you. Do it.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
What?
I was going to say, I think there's a way to give us even less than $2, but then you don't get anything.
You don't get shit. So
you just get, you
get the satisfaction of knowing you're keeping this wonderful podcast on the air.
That's right. Ugh. Boy, that doesn't sound like sales now, does it? It sounds like maybe an argument against.
I've sat through enough of
now
those.
Now you're just fucking encouraging us.
Those public radio and public television fundraisers to know.
Over the years, yeah.
We will not send you a copy of Monty Python's Big Red Book, however.
Okay. Well, I don't get it. Was that an actual giveaway?
Yeah, Channel 2 used to, yeah.
Awesome. Did you get one?
Yeah, because I pledged $1 a month, and you're supposed to be like $5 a month or whatever. But
you found a loophole?
I asked the person I was talking to.
Okay.
I was like, I'm a kid, I don't
have that kind of money?
Shit of money. What's the lowest I can do? And once the book came, I canceled it.
Canceled it immediately.
Yeah.
Sean writes, Earl C. Kenton, : Now, Lon, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Your mother's been carried off by the wolf man. The servants have all fled. Your lover is being chased across the moor by the dogs. And then Dr. Frankenstein comes in and has the gall to pretend to not even recognize you. I want to get the feeling from you that you're just fed up with it all. Action. Okay, so this is a reference that I didn't pick up on actually as I was until way late into reading that. So what is that a reference to? What is Sean doing here? It's a reference to something that Evelyn Ankers said, isn't it? I think it's Evelyn Ankers said that the director... No, it's even better. It's Ralph Bellamy.
Yeah, I know.
And I posted the clip for crying out loud.
I was trying to call it back, but yeah.
Yep, it's Ralph Bellamy says that the director said that, all of that. And when you watch the story, you're like, that's not a part that happens in the movie. So this is good enough. I like it.
Yep.
An excellent comment from Sean.
Yep.
All right, and that's all we got for that minute. So I'm going to go to my regular comments and see if I missed anything on there. Chuck says, more 1-minute clips, please. All right, we kept doing that. Mike Herman commented, this is pretty good. I don't know what episode. I'm terrible at my job. Mike Herman commented, move over Dino and Frank Santopadre. The lady from the credit card company is the best guest star you've had. You better invite her back for minute 1 of Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
Let's see. What else I got
You got
here?
that resolved, right? Like 3 months ago you were having issues with your...
Yeah, I completely forgot about it.
Fraud on your card and...
Yeah, they just sent me one immediately, and I used it every 10 minutes in London. I don't know if I want to go on any further than that. I am gonna. I'm sorry. New comment on YouTube.
We're kind of short here, so...
All right, new comment on YouTube. On episode 415, Having a Ball, from Donald Motley. I don't find any episodes missing here on YouTube. Maybe you've been exonerated. Let's hope the same is not true for certain ex-presidents. Okay, I think I might have shown you that one already.
You did,
maybe we talked about it. All right.
Yeah, because I saw it and sent it to you.
Oh, that's right. That's what happened. That's right. I try not to look at them until we get here, but yeah.
For whatever reason, I happened to see it. And I think there are still a couple missing, aren't there?
Yes, he's wrong. I showed you. There's the 2 they pulled, 3.41 and 1.100. Then we had an episode 1.101 that just didn't load. Like, it just didn't go to YouTube. It went to everywhere else but YouTube. And at that point, I was like, well, fuck it. They're pulling them anyway. And I just didn't do anything about it. So one day I should post them all to YouTube. I'm sure we could just pull out the offending material and post it.
Repost it.
It's YouTube. You know what I mean? It's like we're just doing our best to try to not get pulled off YouTube. At some point, we're just going to get pulled off YouTube. What can I do? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, but I have noticed that the numbers of views or whatever you get
are going up. That's figures.
So I don't want to completely discount YouTube as a platform for people to access this.
Yeah. So I've been listening to.
Because I have a friend that's where he listens to.
Okay. Well, and I put them up on the Classic Horror Film Board every so often. I wish I did it every Friday, but I sometimes forget. I've been listening to a podcast by a science fiction author called Cory Doctorow, who also writes nonfiction stuff, and he likes to talk a lot about the internet, and he, I believe, coined the term "inshitification." And each platform goes through inshitification, and the easiest one is Google for me, because Google wrote the best search engine that could ever exist in the history of the world. And now, the reason that when you have a new platform, you want to attract users.
Sure.
So you operate at a loss. Your company loses tons of money while you attract users. Right. Once your users have gotten there and you're using you, it's the same with Amazon, Facebook, Twitter is going through it at hyper speed now. You start you start taking the thing that people liked and making it either they have to pay for it or make it not work the way that they wanted it to work. Right. And TikTok is another one he talked about where TikTok was extraordinarily good at showing you stuff that it thought you wanted to see, and people just love TikTok. Well, now if someone pays for a certain fee, you'll see their videos first. And it's the same on YouTube. It's the same everywhere. So it's only a matter of time before YouTube turns into every I can't stop saying the F word. It's only a matter of time before it becomes garbage too. So I can only care so much, right?
Oh, I agree, but I don't want to discount it completely because I do know people listen to it there.
Okay, well, we'll keep trying to keep it on YouTube, and then when inevitably they do take us down, I already have another account that I'm planning.
Okay.
That we can use to post Frankenstein minutes. We'll start
over. So you're going to have to start over posting all 265?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
We'll start from episode 1, and I'll do them one a week until the universe explodes.
Pretty much.
Mike Herman comments on some post that, again, I don't know how it works. I did eBay that CD with the Modern Orchestra doing the House and Ghost score. I love owning it, even though CDs are kind of pointless. It'll be great for a road trip, at least. So I know. I just got an email today. Varice Saraband, I believe that's how you pronounce it, is a record label. Okay. And they put out a lot of like extended version soundtracks for things. Okay. Have a sale, and like I could get the extended full score to Army of Darkness for like $5.
on CD.
Okay.
Like, I don't know that I have anything to play it on anymore.
Yeah.
I put it in my Blu-ray player.
I still do buy CDs, and I rip them and.
Well, that's what I'll do.
You know, that kind of, yeah.
But, you know, they do also have, like Criterion does, has a little booklet inside and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can find most of this stuff on, say, you know, Amazon Prime Music Unlimited. But I get none of the ancillary stuff. It's like those replacements.
Absolutely.
Things they've been putting out. I haven't bought any because I can get all of it for free on
Spotify, yeah.
Well, on Amazon.
Amazon Music.
Because I pay, you know, it's part of my Prime membership.
Sure.
But I'm not getting the nice big book or the LP, which I have nothing to play it on anyway.
This Beatles podcast that I listened to did my pocketbook a real disservice by pointing out that the best book about the making of Sgt. Pepper is the book that comes with the Sgt. Pepper box set. And you buy the box set, you look at it and you're like, wow, this is really, like, this is more information than the last book I bought 10 years ago. You know, so those
that somewhere here.
And they're beautiful, and they sit on my shelf, and they take up space. And as a big Beatles idiot, I actually refer to these fucking things. I pull them off the shelf, open the thing, pull the other thing, open the other thing, and pull the book out so I can look at it. Yeah.
I'm almost positive I have it down here.
Which one?
The Sgt. Pepper one.
Oh, that box set? Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, because it's the size of an LP, but there's a CD inside, right?
Sean must have commented in response to that, careful while driving. The Monsters theme may give you a lead foot.
Oh! Nice.
All right, then we got a new reply to that same one from Donald Motley saying, oh, I replied to Donald Motley saying which episodes were missing and everything we just talked about, and he responded, so they are. Thanks for the clarification.
Okay.
All right. Do we do any more time killers or?
I'm exhausted.
All right, let's call it.
Lower.